Hello, good afternoon, everyone. And for those who are watching us from different time zones, good morning or good evening, wherever you are. And my name is Marilyn. I'm the founder and CEO of Customized Training Solutions, or CTS Private Limited. And as we have been doing this interview for the longest time, for about 2 years now, we will no longer do as much introduction as we used to do. But for those who are interested to know more about how we can work together, we will be sharing some of the links later on the comments below. So this interview will benefit those who are in the C level or senior management who likes to stay relevant and adapt to the next normal, or possibly business and team leaders who find it stressful to lead and ensure performance of a hybrid team, and those individuals who would like to level up their leadership skills. And today, I will not do any introductions anymore, and I'll be inviting my guests to do that. Hi, Wynnel Joy and Sheryn. Welcome to this interview on leadership and transformation. And as shared with our guest, we were hoping to link or to help and lead the way through empowerment via financial literacy, right? Because the two beautiful ladies that I have here are financial consultants, in fact, and they're also based here in Singapore, both Filipinas. And I've actually met Joy personally before through a seminar called Passion to Profit, right? By the Authentic Education based in Australia, but having their sessions here in Singapore. So to get started, ayan. So I would like to give each of you 2 to 3 minutes to please introduce yourself and probably share your journey, particularly through the team that we have on leadership and transformation. So Joy, please go ahead.
Hi, Marilyn. Thank you for having us here and sharing your platform with us to touch other people's lives and to share to the world what we do. My name is Wynnel Joy Coling, and my social media presence is branded as financegoddess.sg because I'm a financial consultant in Singapore, but I'm a goddess at heart. So, um, I used to be a TV show host, a lifestyle TV show host, and an online magazine editor in the Philippines prior to coming here to work as a financial consultant. And my at the core of what I do is self-love. My core value is self-love, and my mission is to empower women through financial literacy. I believe that every woman has to be financially independent no matter who their fathers, husbands, or boyfriends are, because a man is not a financial plan. So, yeah, we have to be financially independent and at the same time emotionally interdependent, and at the same time achieving all of those with joy, ease, fun, and feminine flow.
Yeah, thank you so much for that introduction. And before uh, Shireen go ahead with her introduction, I just want to acknowledge Constance for joining us live. She's back in San Diego and it's midnight her time. So thank you for your support. And she was saying that level up all the way and pretty ladies, mabuhay.
Hi,
Yes,
Constance.
queen. And actually, again, like what Joy said, she's a goddess. Finance goddess, right? Not just a queen, but a financial goddess. How about Queen? I got excited. I'm curious to know how would she would introduce herself.
Okay, so it's my turn.
Yes,
Good
go
day
ahead.
mga kababayan! Mabuhay! I am Sheryn Rose Poscablo. I am a Filipina and I'm a female juris doctor from Philippines, former model and foreigner entrepreneur. Now a financial certified financial planner with extensive financial experience here in Singapore. And I have been working here for 6 years in the investment and insurance industry. I'm excited to share my story to you and provide advices and encouragement to my fellow Filipinos. Actually, my target market are the Filipinos, of course, to encourage them. To begin with, I graduated from Philippine Law School with a degree of law. And after that, I did some joint ventures. I did some trucking business, and then naluge. It went bankrupt. So I decided to pursue my career here in Singapore, which is not really an easy decision for me to leave my family and friends in the Philippines. But I knew that working abroad would provide me with more opportunities to learn and to grow in my career. One of my motivation for living and working in Singapore was the country's reputation as a financial hub in Asia. I wanted to be a part of the industry's growth and contribute to the development of the sector. At the same time, empower all our kababayans kasi one day they will come back to Philippines and I would love them to have the same income that they're earning here in Singapore, enjoying it with their loved ones. Yeah. Additionally, the multicultural level and environment here in Singapore is also what I want. That's why it's an appealing factor. That's all.
Thank you for the introduction. So, like both of them are models, and that's the reason why you can see how beautiful and sexy they are. I really love that. We're just having fun here, and actually, in fact, Constance was saying to teach you the sexy confidence dance. That's actually just moving your shoulder.
Yeah. We
Yes,
were just in a
sexy
West Coast
confidence.
swing dance last night.
Yes, yes. So thank you so much for the introduction. And again, like as I've been thinking of this, like should I invite them? They're not into C levels. Well, they are C levels for consultant, a financial consultant. But then again, like what I've mentioned, leadership is not about just the position or the designation that you have, right? Like what they have been doing, empowering women for especially for Joy and for Shereen, really empowering like Filipinos, overseas Filipino workers to manage and to take charge of their financial especially that they will not be able to work forever abroad, right? So or overseas. So again, that's also leadership, that's also empowering others, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm just curious to know, who are your influencers and what is your probably favorite leadership style if you do have any, and that actually leads you on what you do today in the position or the things that you are doing today.
Okay,
So
me first.
Joy, go ahead.
My leadership style is value based, core value based, and heart to heart connection. Um, I've had various I've had various gurus that I've listened to in the past for all these past years, and
Mhm,
now I'm more inclined to Lenka Lutonska. Lenka Lutonska, she does energetic selling and marketing.
mhm,
So yeah, I believe in a value-based leadership because, as human beings, we both have functional needs and emotional needs. And
mhm.
for our functional needs, there are many people who can serve us with it, but our emotional needs are, you know, when both your functional needs and emotional needs are being fulfilled and being met, then that's like really great leadership in my experience and in my opinion. And so that's the kind of leader I want to be, like confidently beautiful with a heart. With
Thank you
a
for
heart, with a heart.
summarizing
With,
that for
with
us.
heart, with heart and soul. Because I get like a lot of comments from other people. Filipinos are so different. Your DNA, especially here in Singapore, they're like, your DNA is like so different from other like nationalities. I'm not gonna mention the nationality that was mentioned to me, and one guy was like, these other nationality, when you look at their eyes, all you see are dollar signs. But you guys, you Filipinos, you have a soul, you have a heart, and we do.
Wow, thank you for sharing that part with us. How about you? Before I summarize anything, Shereen, how about you? What's your favorite leadership style? Who's your influencers? And probably how you define leadership, reason why you are doing what you're doing now.
Okay, so I attended a course here last 2017. It's a landmark forum seminar. Actually, cannot advertise it, but a lot of famous leaders all over the world took it. And the basic core values is like the values of Mahatma Gandhi, like total detachment. So imagine yourself total detached from everything and anything, and define yourself as a blank paper, that you're empty and meaningless. So when you're empty and meaningless, and all the past traumas or whatever happened to you are gone, then you can create and continue recreating leadership, right? Then you're
Mhm.
gonna develop like a strong mind with a soft heart equals success and perfection. So whenever you want to empower someone, you're empowering it from the heart. You are resonating with that person, and you're gonna help a person develop whatever skills the person has. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. Let me just story for our audience. I really appreciate this conversation because it's really like around the corporate world, right? Not a lot of times that they would speak about the heart, speak about the value base, like what Joy said, and now these story or comment you've shared just now, Shireen, about Mahatma Gandhi. Actually, the person whom I interviewed recently, Dr. Constance, who's joining us also today in this conversation, she also mentioned Mahatma Gandhi as one of her influencers when it comes to leadership. And again, it's about recreating leadership by empowering with the heart, right? It's not really so much about the money, the level, the designation, but it's really so much of how can I add value to others, how can I give my heart as well to those people that I work with. And I really like the last part that you mentioned, although it's not in my summary, but it's really like about developing others as well, because at the end of the day, right, leadership is really about creating more leaders. um, and yeah, looks like Constance is enjoying our conversation. Pak ganon.
Yeah. Um, I
So,
I saw I saw a post yesterday and I reposted it. It says something like build a team so strong that you cannot point out who's the leader. So when you build a team that everyone is so strong, everyone is so empowered that you don't know who the leader is because everyone self is a self leader.
wow, that's a really beautiful post, right? And again, that's what leadership really is, right? When nobody knows who you are or who is the leader, but then there's always the importance of the team, right? And again, it's all about developing everyone in your team to be a leader as well. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's called rebirth and reborn, adding all the amalgamation, all the things you want to level up. Yes, thank you. And again, it's all about just to highlight, it's all about developing others or developing more leaders within your team, right? So thank you for sharing that. And from your experience, I mean, I've made mention earlier, the reason why I'm doing this is I'm hoping to add value to others and to help leaders as well, whether they're a corporate leader, a business leader, or even individuals who would like to level up um, their leadership skills, right? Because generally everyone is a leader, like what you said earlier, Joy, right? You have to lead yourself, and being able to do that in such a way that when you're in a team, they don't really recognize who's actually the leader, right? So I'm just curious to know, like from that statement about the next normal, about staying relevant, from your experience working with individuals or even leaders in the corporate world, or even entrepreneurs, from your experience, what would you say would be the top three problems that most leaders do normally face?
Okay, I will start. Um, Problems that leaders face right now is one, I think, not being able to adapt to the technological trends like digital marketing, especially the oldies. They're unable to adapt to new technologies and like new marketing, new ways to market yourself and your service in an optimized way, like digital marketing. And in our company, the people who have adapted, the young ones who have adapted to digital marketing, are the ones who are hitting like top of the table in record time.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the problems that I see. And another problem is like not being able to adapt to the to this new generation's what do you call it, energy, and like the mindset of today's workforces, the today's generation's workforce. It's a totally like different mindset and totally different energy. So
Mhm.
leaders who have not adapted to it, I think they have a problem. But of course, problems are always opportunities for growth, for growing, for expanding yourself in order for you to adapt, right?
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. How about you, Shireen? What do you believe are the top problems for most leaders?
The top three problems for most leaders is not operating in integrity.
Mhm.
Integrity is the core value of everything. To
Mhm.
be successful, you must operate with that, and you have to practice what you preach, so your subordinates will follow you. Second problem is, if you are so close minded, you are not there's no opportunity to grow for growth.
Mhm.
You should let your subordinates shine in their own unique special way, because
Mm,
each and every person is different. So let's say you're imposing this type of system, but this particular subordinate you have has a different and unique talent. So
mm,
Mhm.
why not make like use each and everybody's strength and weaknesses to balance everyone, to
yeah,
create the perfect team.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yes. And then the third one, I think, is greediness, because a lot of leaders, once greed enters their mind and their fame, like, oh, I'm this one, I'm like this is my achievement. It's not about the achievement, actually. It's about how you touch other people's lives. If you are passionate about that, then your team will grow.
yeah,
It's not all about achievements.
yeah. And
Wow. Mhm.
I'd like to
Mhm.
add also,
Mhm.
um, holding your people, your team member capable, because perception is projection. How you perceive others to be, so how you perceive your team to be, you're gonna project on them. And however, whatever you way you project on them, they're gonna respond to that. So if you hold them capable, if you see them,
Mhm.
perceive them as capable team member, that they're gonna be responsible, they're gonna do their best, then chances are they're gonna do their best and they're gonna be capable and they're gonna deliver. Instead of you not trusting them, they would be able to feel your energy of mistrust, and because they feel the energy of mistrust, it's gonna hamper their productivity and creativity.
Yes, so it's really so much more about I guess trust, right? And these are really spot on problems that you have raised just now, right? Because now we've been hearing a lot about adaptability, and it's not really just a buzzword, as like as we know. It's really something that we need to like look into and leave, and also like for us to be able to stay relevant. It's really so much about learning and adapting to those changes that are happening. Like you mentioned earlier, Joy, about technologies and even marketing strategies, because the market is evolving, our target audience is evolving, and so we have to keep up with that, right? And
Yeah,
that's the same with the energy and the mindset of the new generation, because obviously the way they think and the way they do things are so much different from what used to be. And I guess that's also the same challenges that most family businesses are facing, right?
yeah,
Because it's like from generation to generation, and sometimes the older generation feel that, oh no, it has worked for this so many years and it should work, right? But not, but the that which burdens the like new generation, because again, like the market has evolved a lot, especially in the last 2.5 years, right? And like Shireen mentioned about not operating in integrity, and I think this is so much more um in the government. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. I just recently read a post by Mark, recently one of my connection on Facebook, sharing about his sentiments around politics and how like most leaders in the politics or in the government agencies normally are not, working in the most uh positive way, in not having integrity. And we experience that being like from the Philippines, right? A lot of corruptions and all those stuff. And again, this is the reason why I'm having these conversations as well, for us, for more people to realize, like, leadership is really about serving others, right? It's really like building others, developing others, and like really living your purpose, not only just about the money, right? And yes, close-mindedness, this is very spot on, right? Because when you're close-minded, you don't really see the strengths of other people around you, and you just want to do this, do this, right? And which is
Mhm.
kind of difficult, especially that nowadays, like especially in bigger organizations, right, where people are coming from different perspectives, different cultures. And now that I mean, it's our globe or our world is getting smaller with all this online technology and all those stuff, right? Where like if you still insist on the old ways that no longer serves you, then it's gonna be difficult as well. And of course, greed, and that's, I guess, the reason why there's no integrity, because of greed as well, right? um, and again, it's a reminder for leaders to be able to like look into how can you serve others, and how can you live your purpose in such a way that you help others to also like, it's interesting because that's sometimes how human work, right? Works. But at the end of the day, if we work together, we can actually create more greater things, right? And
Mhm.
again, like I would say the last comment or additional comment that Joy has added, holding them capable, is really so much around trust, and really developing your team to become more of leaders rather than just employees, right? So thank you so much for that summary and for all those input that you've shared. And let me just oh, okay. So, okay. Marikit, hi. Thank you for supporting us live as well. She's watching from Facebook. And Constance is saying self-branding is important and the tools is as important. I guess this is like from the comment that you've shared, Joy, right, around marketing and adaptability. And Marikit said that achievement is a bonus, actually, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and okay. Yeah, she's actually it's over midnight on her side of the world. Thank you so much for joining us halfway through. Just continue watching us later on. And of course, we will not leave our audience with all these problems. Okay, so Shireen is sharing your hearts for supporting us today. And so, I mean, we've discussed and we've identified all these problems just now. So, but of course, we will not leave them with that, right? So, what are the important leadership capabilities and skills you must have in this next normal in order to continue to lead more effectively?
Okay, I'll start. As I've mentioned earlier, you have to be aware that your team are human beings first and foremost before
Mhm.
they are workers. Okay, before they are
Exactly.
your team members, they are human beings first and
Mhm.
foremost. And because
Mhm.
they're human beings first and foremost, they have a emotional needs. They have a human needs to be trusted, to be cared about, to be held capable. So I think, yeah, be aware that these people are humans and see them as humans first and foremost before you see them as team member, as bolt and nuts to your machine. You have to see them as humans first and foremost, and cater and serve and connect to their emotional needs and their functional needs as well.
Thank you for that. I really love that part because just recently I've met someone who's working in HR as well in somewhere in Europe, and she mentioned like a conversation she had with her boss, and the boss actually said like why are you hiring humans? I told you to hire employees, and why are you hiring humans? And it's like, what? Like both of our reaction was like, that's really ridiculous, right? And
Mhm.
again, like what I've shared it also in the talk that I had with Philippine HR group, right? It's really about humanizing the way we work, right?
Yeah.
Because again, like that must be an accountant for you. You must be a financial consultant for others. But they have to remember that you might be everything for someone. You are a mother, you are a wife, you are a daughter, or you again you might be everything for someone else. So they have to remember that. And again, like what Joy has mentioned, it's really satisfying as well, that emotional and functional needs as well, because again you're working with human, right? It just makes sense the way it
Yeah.
is. So
I'm a
how about
goddess
you, Shereen?
myself.
What?
Even the goddess has emotions, right?
Because I'm in this human body. The human body has emotions.
Exactly. How about you, Shireen? What's your take on this?
What is my the tree leadership? Is it okay?
What
What?
what's capabilities or important skills or leadership capabilities that you believe a person or a leader must have in this next normal to continue to lead more effectively?
Okay, first one, this is proven, okay? So for consistently for the past 6 years, I've been one of the top the top financial advisor, I can humbly say. Yeah, my previous company and here in my new company. So first is about having a system.
Mm-hmm.
It's like our fast food chains in Philippines, like Jollibee. They have a system.
Right.
That's why it's
Mm-hmm.
already the leading fast food system in the world. So
Uh-huh.
I have a system, and so it can pass to all the advisors, my
Mm-hmm.
co-fellow advisors, and that's very important because that's the backbone and the framework of an organization, having a
Exactly.
system.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is developing resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's a pandemic, then you have to recreate things, meet your clients under the tree, prepare meals there, meet them, surprise them, something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
give bonuses, give a lot of letting them realize why they need to invest rather than saving, how will it benefit them, something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
third one is having a work life balance, like giving rewards to your subordinates, like
Mm-hmm.
throwing yacht parties, like giving them wherever they want to go, let's say trip to Vietnam, like that, so your environment is like playing, not working, not pressure, like a Filipino environment living here in Singapore, like you
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like working, you're just playing and enjoying and having fun.
Yeah, and we are the embodiment of that. We are leading
Yeah.
that because we've noticed a lot of Singaporeans are so hard on themselves. Like they put so much pressure on themselves to succeed. Like we've asked them, "What's your biggest fear?" And they're all like, "To fail. Failure is their biggest fear." And our biggest fear is to not exist anymore. We love living so much. It's like I feel like it's in a way sad that they're so hard
Mm-hmm.
on themselves that they
Mm-hmm.
put much pressure on themselves to I don't know for to get the outcome they want, that I don't know if they're even enjoying the journey. So with us, we're just leading the way to enjoy the journey while at it, while trying to get to the outcome, to the destination. We're just enjoying the journey. Last night we were in a dance class, in a swing class, and like every we work and play at the same time.
To be fair, actually, I admire the leadership of the Singaporeans. But of course, being a Filipina, like, for example, we're experiencing typhoon and still we're having fun and helping each other. So that's kind of the values that we're having in here in Singapore to our fellow Filipinos as well.
Yeah, I think balance between the two is good. Like the systematic and like structured approach of the Singaporeans, and the ambitious approach of the Singaporeans, and like the play,
Playful, yeah.
fun, ease, joy flow of the Filipinos. I think when you strike a balance between the two, then it's really
Blended with
great.
perfection.
Yeah, and it's highly functional, you know.
Yes, true, true. And again, we all need that, right? Like, cause we're human, we're kind of complex in a way,
Mhm.
right? If I may say that. So we need to somehow like work on several aspects of our lives, from our relationships to our work or our career or business, whatever it is in the financial side, and also of course our body, our soul, and our mind, also working on all those stuff, right? And because it has to be integrated, and part of that is having that work life balance as well, right? When we get to satisfy as much aspects of our life, the happier and the more we enjoy our journey. But again, because some people, like, they might think that they need to wait until they, like, perfect something or do something. But in
Yeah.
reality, like what you both shared, right, it's not really about so much of like, oh, I can make this millions, but it's really so much, am I having fun while I'm making this millions of
Yeah,
dollars, right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, so again, it's a balance of having the system, again, like what Shireen said, having that resilience, because you know there will always be times where we will fail, where we will get a no, we will be rejected, and all those stuff. And it's really about like, so what's next, and like how you move forward, right? How you can like dust yourself and go on with life, right?
Oh my god, my
Dust
naughty
yourself
side is
off
here.
and try it again. Dust yourself off and try it again. Try it again.
Exactly, right? So that's work life balance. So thank you for reminding us. And I, again, I that remind me of that question I had in my talk, as well, in the Philippine HR group. So they were asking me like, so leaders, do leaders have the right to have like a holiday? Right? Or to have that rest. And again, that's the reason why as a leader you have to empower people, and so you can actually have a vacation eventually, right? So it's really about developing others as well, developing other leaders within your team, and so you can have that balance between work and life, right? The business has to actually work even without you, right? So that's
Yeah,
at least the goal, right?
yeah,
not
because
not Yeah, not so much when you're starting, maybe, but again, that's the goal when you're actually running a business, right? It's really to have that work life balance and building it in such a way, systematizing it, making it as resilient as possible so it can work even without you, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So Joy, are you trying to say something? Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I don't think it's good leadership when you overexert yourself to the expense of your the detriment of your body, of your health. You know, it's
Mhm.
I don't think it's
True.
good leadership to, yeah, to overexert yourself that you're unhealthy anymore. A lot of people make money, they try to make money. There's like a saying that something like they make money to buy their health, and when I forgot, but something like, you
Yeah,
don't want
yeah,
to
yeah.
overexert yourself to the extent that
True.
you're unhealthy physically already.
So they
That's
work
not
so hard that eventually they have to like use up all those money that they've
they
earned to
made.
like gain their health as well. So that's
Yeah,
the
something
reason
like
why balance is so much, so
yeah,
important, right? Because again, like you have to have that health in order for you to create those things that you love to do, right? And
yeah.
so thank you, Rose, for sharing us your heart eyes. I guess she's loving the conversation. So thank you so much for joining us live. And so that leads me. I mean, I've been enjoying this conversation, and what you have shared with us are really important reminders for leaders that, sometimes they might forget, or they know but they don't know how to probably apply it. So again, that's the reason why I'm having these conversations, because I wanted to, like, as much as possible, remind them on like this. And so I'm just curious to know, with the ones you've shared in terms of the capabilities, like for Joy, who shared about like humanizing the way you work, right? Remembering that your employees are humans too. So how do you actually like walk the talk, or how does this permeate to the work that you do? How can you relate your own story or your experiences in this comment?
Um, like for example, when you're, for example, when you're in a client meeting, right? When you're in,
Mhm,
or in just about every of my interaction, even if it's not a client meeting, but I'm gonna speak in terms of client meeting. Um, Instead of just talking about the product, you also touch
mhm,
on a little bit about creating. I call it creating an energetic shift or a state
mhm,
shift in
mhm,
your prospect, in your client, by, like for example, if she's a woman, if I'm talking to a woman, I'm gonna compliment something about her style, her jewelry, her looks, because all women, we want to feel beautiful. And if it's a man, then i'm gonna I'm gonna like ask him for like a small favor, like to open my water bottle, and then like really exaggerate the thank you, the appreciation for him helping me out with the bottle or with the bag, because men want to feel strong, and I don't do that to manipulate. I do that because I'm a turned on goddess, I'm a turned on woman living a turned on life, and I want to inject I like injecting juiciness in each and every of my interaction, whether it's a client,
mhm.
a colleague, or even when I'm on a bus and I don't know where to alight. I ask the driver, "Uncle, can you stop me? Can you help me alight at this station?" And if they help me alight at that station, I'm like, "You're the best. You're my hero." And right away, you see the state shift,
The
the
spark,
the
yeah.
energetic shift in their eyes, and they glow when you do
She's
that.
doing the hero instinct in every man's heart.
Yeah. Yeah, because in every man is a
Oh my
king
god.
hero.
Yeah.
So in every woman is a queen goddess. So I kind of want to remind them with my every
Mhm.
interaction with human beings. I want to remind them that there's a hero king within, and there's a queen, beautiful, gorgeous queen goddess within each and all of us, every one of us.
Wow.
Gorgeous Marilyn.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Because, sometimes when we share these things, some people like, but how do I actually apply it in reality, right? Like, imagine that simple compliments and that example that Joy has shared with us. It's just really like, very simple compliments, or recognition, or appreciation of,
Mhm.
all those simple things that you observe, or even like the favor that was given to you, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
and that
so that's
that
how they apply it.
Yeah, and that little energetic shift that you created and caused in someone, like for example,
Mhm.
the bus driver, that creates a ripple of good energy in the universe. So,
True.
law of cause and effect.
Well, it depends on the person if they accept the energy. Some people are so close.
Some
Some
people
people
are
are
so close, but deep
accepting.
down, it resonates with
Yeah.
them. They're like, because how many times a day someone tells them you're the best? People don't praise ourselves enough.
True.
People don't appreciate ourselves enough. People are hardest on ourselves,
Mhm.
So
True.
I feel like since we are aware of that, it's nice to be able to lead that, at least, in your every interaction, to remind people how great they actually are, how
Right.
beautiful and great and strong they and capable they actually are.
Mhm. And for Shireen, I guess you gave us three examples, or three skills and capabilities. I guess I would like to ask you, and you and Joy already shared about the work-life balance. So I guess it's more on the resilience that I would like you to like maybe share about, in terms of like how you go about it, or like how do you relate it in your own experience or stories?
Okay, so 2 years ago, I was the first Filipino who got COVID here in Singapore. I was hospitalized for 2 months, and within
Wow.
that period, yeah, I was isolated, and I got so sad. So I told myself, once I get out of that confinement in Tan Tock Seng, I'm going to build my purpose in life. And I said I'm gonna start with the Filipino people, because since I'm a Filipino and all the nurses there back in Tan Tock Seng were Filipinos,
Mhm.
taking
Mhm.
care took care of me. It's like it's time to give back the say thank you to them. So
Mhm.
during COVID, a lot, actually 90% of my colleagues doesn't have any sales.
Mhm.
But for me, my thinking is not about sales. A lot of Filipinos were laid off during COVID. So I wanted them to have money back when they're in the Philippines. So I'm telling them, please, if you have like at least 10% or just 1 month of your salary for 1 year, let's put it into investment. I want you to have this amount of money. I want
Mhm.
you to have your future, in
Mhm.
just saving. Because in Singapore, we are zero tax, we're zero
Mhm.
estate tax, something like that. I want you to have this before flying back to Philippines. And
Mhm.
I know you remember that we can't meet anybody. It's only one on one. You know what
Right.
I did? I went to stadium and then book all the trees, put some milk tea, Filipino food, like dating Filipino. Hi,
Mhm.
come here, let's have some Filipino dish. Come on, let's interact with each other, and
Mhm.
then helping them, hearing their problems, touching their hearts, that they're going to go back to Philippines, giving them a hanky, they're crying, like these things. And for me, solving a small piece of their problem is already like heaven in my heart. So that's resilience,
Mhm.
recreating things, how to meet people, be passionate, and still serving and doing what you ought to do.
Yes, wow. Thank you for sharing that story.
Uh,
And it's very special because I mean, like we all have our struggles, and like the work that you do or we do are like hopefully would add value or help others in one way or another, right? So thank you for sharing that story with us. And so that leads me to my last question, and like we've passed 40 minutes already enjoying this conversation. So my last question, my last question is, if you have a magic wand and can use it, what will you do with it?
Okay, me first.
You
I'd
bring
bring
your
back
magic wand.
spiritual magic wand. I'd bring back spiritual balance and the consciousness of the universe, of each and every creature, humans and animals and plants and leaves. I'd bring back spiritual balance, so that would all be our energies, our mindsets, our heart sets, our emotions would be aligned to love, and everything that doesn't resonate with love will dissolve, like judgment, apathy, scarcity mindset, greed, all these lack of integrity. They would just dissolve, and would all be in integrity, would all be expressing our highest truest selves. And imagine we're all doing that. I feel like this world would be like Atlantis, like where we're all geniuses, we're all tapping into our unique geniuses, and we're all contributing to the advancement of the world from our unique geniuses. Then we'd all be living back in Atlantis. I feel like that's like the my my ideal world.
Your ideal world as a goddess queen.
Yeah, as a goddess. I came from that world, actually. I was brought back here to earth for some reason.
And Marikit was saying, make your heart count. Oh, di ba?
oh,
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
thank you, Marikit. And that's true. I mean, like I think that's what makes us different as human, right? That heart and that soul that we have, like for us to like leave our purpose, use our geniuses or our gift to help others around us as well. And how about you, Shireen? What's your magic wand?
my magic wand is, if I have a magic wand, I would love to pay all the debts of our country. And you know why? Because I believe in the sanctity of family. And you know that Filipinos are so family oriented. And I want families to be together. They don't need to go to Singapore. They don't need to go anywhere, to Canada, to America. They just
Mhm.
have to choose a place, especially in the Philippines, and to be together and enjoying things together without thinking of anything financially because they're financially free. That's it.
Wow, that's really beautiful. I really hope that both of you would have a magic wand like me.
Or for
So that
magic,
actually
magic one.
My magic wand.
so that your wish can come true. But I believe, I mean, the work that you do, the interactions that you make with other people, that is truly beautiful, and that's really again from those small or little things, that we do, we say, it definitely creates a ripple effect. Make your heart the most beautiful heart about you, or about, probably about the most beautiful thing, or beautiful part about you, right? Thank you, Marikit, for that reminder. And thank you so much for this meaningful conversation. Yeah, that is the future. Yes, let's make it happen, right? So thank you so much for all your wonderful answers. I really appreciate this conversation, and I hope our audience got so much value from this conversation. And yeah, please let us share all this this video, the replay later on, so that people can actually, like, more people can actually benefit and watch this conversation. So with that, I really thank you, both of you, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for the add value. Thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for the all the things, that you do for other people, especially for our fellow Filipinos as well. So this has been a meaningful and inspiring conversation. So, and for everyone else who's watching us, thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting us. And do join us in this journey to create opportunities to have that Atlantis back, or
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make this world a better
Bring
place to
Atlantis
live,
back.
right? Yes. And remember that even those, the richest investors in the world would say that investing in yourself is the best investment you can ever make in your life. And that could, that doesn't have to be also like you developing yourself in order to be a better person, and working on all aspects of your life to get that balance that we've also shared, right? And so with that, we would like to leave you with this quote, that if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are an excellent leader. Thank you so much, Joy and Shireen. I really appreciate the conversation, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with you. And we'll be sharing more details of where to get your book, when
Ah,
Joy,
yeah. I forgot to
later
say.
in the link. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say in my introduction, I'm also the author of an ebook called "The Way of the Empowered Feminine." It's available on Amazon, and to reach us for financial as to reach us as financial consultant, we are on our social media. My social media is financegoddess.sg on
Yes.
Instagram and TikTok and on Facebook, and she is ano mo
Sheryn
Instagram.
Rose P. Sheryn Rose. Yeah, I'm actually about to develop my own digital marketing too in the future.
Oh,
You
great,
can
great.
reach me +6594834900.
So later on, share all those in the comments as well, so that our audience will know. Are you giving us any discounts or promotions for those who are watching us live
Free
today?
iPad.
I'm gonna give your viewers a free copy of my ebook. Let me know. I'm gonna send it.
Yay!
Free iPad
Okay.
and free
So
travel from Philippines to
so
Singapore.
let us know. Let us know if you want to get that iPad Shireen just mentioned, and also Joy's ebook. So PM us. I've also shared my contact details here, and I'll be sharing more on the link on the comments as well on Facebook, YouTube, and on LinkedIn. So thank you so much, everyone, for supporting us and for joining us. Thank you, Joy and Shireen, for this conversation. And bye for now.
Bye. Round
Bye.
of applause.
Bye. Thank
Round of
you.
applause. Triangle of applause.